Hey everyone, thank you for tuning back in to watch episode 3 of my travel journey. Welcome to Paris. So while in London, I received some news that made me feel like my Paris trip was going to go a little rough. I was notified from a friend that they were protesting in Paris and that all of the public transportation would be shut down. Now, I think at the moment, I don't think I thought about how that would affect my trip too much, so I really kind of just brushed it off. But to continue on, upon arriving in Paris, knowing that the public transportation was down, I looked to Uber to see what I could find in terms of getting from the airport to my hostel. So the time that it takes to get from the airport to the hostel showed up as an hour and 12 minutes. Uber prices were ranging from 45 euros to 61 euros for an Uber pool. That was very steep. But I happened to see a taxi cab driver who was around. Of course, he was, do you need a taxi? Asking if people need taxis. So, I kind of finagled the price and I got it down to 45 euros to get the taxi from the airport to my hostel. So we get in the taxi and we're driving. The 1 hour and 12 minute trip turns into a 2-hour trip. And I think that was the first bit of irritation for my first day in Paris. Anyways, so I arrive at my hostel. Now at this point, I'm gonna go back to London for a second. In London, I was, like I said in one of my first videos, I was only going to use my credit card because it does not have international fees. So in London, I probably used my credit card once physically because they were contactless payment friendly. So I was always using my Apple Watch. Remember that. Fast forward back to being at the hostel in Paris. So when I arrive at the hostel, I have to pay the remaining balance of my bill up front. I hand over my credit card. She tries to insert the chip and swipe, and it does not work. So at this point, I'm kind of nervous because I don't have my debit card on me. My credit card seems to not work. Now I do have cash, but I don't want to use the cash to pay for the hostel because I still have to make it to 2 other countries where I would need euros. So I asked her if she would input the numbers into the machine to see if that worked. So she tries that and it works. Relief. But let's just say that was a second moment that caused more irritation than day 1 of Paris. So after going through that process, I went upstairs where I proceeded to meet my hostel mate, who turned out to be extremely awesome. And our first mission was to go find somewhere close to eat some food because we were both hungry and I felt like maybe that could help. So upon meeting her, we leave the hostel, we walk maybe a block or 2 down and we find a really cool restaurant. We sit outside to eat. It's a little chilly, but they have heaters, but you know, it's still cool. So we order our food. I ask if they take contactless payment. They don't. So I'm like, it's fine. I have my credit card. I really wasn't worried about it at that point. So we order our food. We eat it. It was delicious. And we get our bill and I hand him my credit card to pay. My credit card doesn't work. He inserts the chip. He swipes it. It doesn't work. He doesn't use contactless payment. I don't have a debit card. And unfortunately, I did not have enough cash on me to cover my food. Let's just say that was number 3 on my irritation list for my first day of Paris. But luckily, I had an amazing friend with me, Lola, who I met, like I said, at the hostel, and she covered me and I was able to give her back the money when we got back to the hostel. But at this point in my head, I kind of had made up the decision that I needed to go to sleep for one. I needed to go to sleep. And that I wasn't going to do anything the next day because now I'm like, okay, my credit card isn't going to work. They don't use contactless payment. So all I have to use is my cash. And I'm already cutting into cash for other parts of my trip, and that wasn't intended. So I was just really irritated, and I kind of just didn't want to do anything in Paris anymore. I did have a hop on, hop off bus tour, which was already paid for. So I was like, I'll just go do that. If I don't do anything else in Paris, I will be just fine. But honestly, I'll just let the rest of the video tell you how it really went. So hope you like it. Wait just 1 minute. I would like to add this before we really get into the video. Even though the public transportation was down, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get around Paris like I would like to, they have gained a lot by protesting. Like, as of the moment, they can retire at 62. They have a 35-hour work week, and anything past that is overtime. They have free health care, and they also have 5 weeks paid leave, regardless of if they're full-time, part-time, or if they just started with the company. So my hostel for Paris is called Enjoy Hostel, and I'm going to give you a tour around. So after you make it up the stairs, like the other one, it has a key card. You use it to open the door. And when you come in, there is of course the mirror, toilet, shower. But if you walk straight, you have your first set of 4 beds, and you have lockers. And if you keep walking back, there's another light here, and then there's a next set of beds, and more lockers, and they also have another bathroom back here. Let's walk back out to the front. These hostels, you do have to bring your own lock. This is my locker right here. I was kind of worried that my little lock wouldn't fit, but my little lock does fit. It has a window, so in the summertime or springtime, I bet this is really nice, but it's cold. So, you know, this probably isn't something that I want to keep open. This is my bed. I was lucky enough, I got a bottom bunk yet again. That is the rooms, at least. Now, I will go downstairs and show you guys what it looks like coming in. So this is when you walk in the door. There is no elevator, so you do have to take the stairs, and there are a lot of floors. I was lucky enough to just be on the first floor, so that was great for me. Right at the bottom of the stairs to the right-hand side is a kitchen. There are tables. They've got a TV in here, a bar area, vending machines. There's a little table. You can take these doors outside to go smoke. There's a refrigerator. I don't know if this is supposed to be open. Probably. I think they're gonna clean it out. There is a stovetop. I don't know if that actually works, but there's a microwave, dishwasher, sink. So it's nice in here. And like I said, this is the seating area. You have some couches, you have a computer, and that is it for downstairs. Hey everybody, so it is day 2 in Paris. We are waiting on our Uber. We are going to a food spot called Breakfast in America. We're gonna see how they perceive us today. It's me and Lola. We are headed out. And then eventually after we're done eating, we'll probably just take a walk somewhere if it doesn't start to pour down on our heads. Hey everyone, so I had to stop and at a souvenir shop and get myself a beret because I wasn't really feeling my hair. But after that, we found our way to Notre Dame. Unfortunately, due to the recent fire, it's under construction, so we found this waterway. So we're just gonna walk the waterway and see how things go. We've gotten some great shots, some photos, which I'm going to post on my Instagram and on my Facebook. So if you're lucky enough to be one of my friends, you'll get to see them. But I'll definitely also post some in this video. But this is so cute and romantic. I must say, this is a better day than yesterday, so I'm appreciative of it. Notre Dame caught fire April 15, 2019, which ironically, they had just finished raising $100 million 4 days before it caught fire for restoration on the inside. Unfortunately, they couldn't use any of that money to go towards the roof due to legal issues, but the president of France launched a fundraising campaign which brought in $1 billion in pledges to restore the roof. The restoration is said to take 10 to 15 years to rebuild the roof, but since it took 182 years to build in the first place, that should be nothing. After leaving Notre Dame, we took a really nice 20-minute walk down the Seine River where we found ourselves at the Louvre Museum. Now, most of the way there, it was really cloudy, but it had not started to rain. But as soon as we got here, it started to mist just a little bit, but it wasn't too bad, so we were able to continue on and see what the Louvre was about. The Louvre Museum is the largest art museum in the world, and it is also the largest historical monument in Paris, and it is located in the first arrondissement. So if you're looking for it, that's where you should go. After making our way out to the known pyramids of the Louvre, it was still sprinkling, but at that point it really started to pour down. So honestly, I must say the best time to get good pictures is when it's raining. We got some great ones. You guys, it was rough. When I first got here, I swear I had to say, I'm sorry, I don't speak French like 7 times before even leaving the airport, which made me feel really bad because then I felt like I really needed to learn French before coming here. And like in the touristy area where we are now, there's some people that speak English, but like where we're staying, there's not many people that speak English. So Google Translate has been my best friend. I mean, I feel like a foreigner, and that sucks. It definitely makes me feel for people who are in the United States that don't speak English a little bit more, but. Hey guys, it's day 3, and needless to say, the ongoing trend on this trip is I'm off to a late start. So, I am relaxing. Well, not at this very moment. I'm headed to go to McDonald's to get some food and get change. And then I'm gonna go to the laundry and wash my clothes. And then later on, get on.
So, you have l'habitation. Des quatre qui sont. L'habitation, pardon.
Yes, I'm gonna go wash my clothes and then later get on the hop. Wait, nope, this way. And then later get on the hop on, hop off bus and not let that money go to waste. So I'll show you guys the laundromat experience. I stopped in there for a moment. I'm slightly confused, but hopefully we can figure it out. All right, so I received my food. It's great because they bring your food to you no matter where you are. We're on the second floor. What I noticed already, don't knock it over, is that their caps are not plastic. Like, it's all recyclable. They are no straws, which is really great. Also, when coming to McDonald's, do not expect to be handed a handful of sauce. You pay for every sauce that you get. This ketchup right here, this lowly ketchup packet, 20 euro cents for one. So if you would like a handful, please come with money. One more thing, the cup sizing. There is no general US large, like how we get those really big plastic cups if you want like a large. That's not how this works. This size here is a medium, which is like a small coffee size. And this here is upcharged for 40 euro cents for the large. So yes, these are your two sizes, your regular size and your large size. If you would like anything else, please buy an additional beverage. Can we get it from here? So we gotta get the soap first.
Yes. Which is number 40, right?
You need $1? I have a coin. Oh, you got one? Or a euro? Up here. Ah, this works. All right. Wash. We put both in. It says 2. Yep, there's 2 little tablets. All right.
Wait. That's right, right? Okay. Ensuite, température.
Oh, the colors. 2. Ah. Okay. So 3. And then we go back over here. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, thank you. So I accidentally pressed the Uber pool button, which means that obviously I wasn't gonna make it here straight away. And I barely made it on time. I'm on the bus now. I had to pick up 3 people, make 2 other stops, but the Uber driver was extremely nice and was really rushing and cutting people off to get me here on time. So I appreciate it. But yes, now we have made it to the night tour on Big Bus Tours, and we're going to go around. It's a 2-hour ride. There is no hop on, hop off, so you just stay on the bus the whole time. So here we go. Located in the 8th arrondissement at the eastern end of the Champs-Élysées is Place de la Concorde, formerly known as Revolution Square. It is the largest square in the French capital, and it is the site of many notable public executions by guillotine during the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette being one of them, who was executed by guillotine for high treason. And they didn't really stop the whole guillotine thing until September 10th, 1977, which is pretty close to now. The Eiffel Tower was actually only commissioned for the World Fair in 1889, and it was the tallest building in the world until the Chrysler Building was built in New York in 1930. It was supposed to be removed after 20 years before it was passed into the hands of the Parisian government, which planned to dismantle it and use it for scrap metal. But radio saved the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel put an antenna on top of the tower to show its versatility and to try to save it, and that the military government used it to communicate wirelessly with its ships in the Atlantic Ocean and to intercept enemy messages during World War I. To this day, it's still home to more than 120 antennas broadcasting both radio and television signals throughout the capital city and beyond.